Hello guys, welcome to Tech Mode, and today where we are going is that this is the part 2 of the Protractor series, and where we learn more about the Protractor. So we have an Angular application right now with us, and what we want is that we will be automating our task as well as our test cases in the using a Protractor framework. And if you have no clue about what exactly is a Protractor, I know you can just follow up the first tutorial. Here's a link. And so in this part, what we are going is that we are going with the locators. So we will be learning mainly about how we can use the locators in our project and how we can proceed with our test cases. And so I believe that all the if you guys must have an initial setup ready for your protected test case. So let's get started. So first of all, let us know more about the locators. So basic, the heart of, as you can see in the slides also, that the heart of end-to-end test is the web page. For the web page is to finding the DOM elements. So we will be finding the DOM elements using locators. So Protector is one of the very good test framework for the Angular application testing, where it provides a lots of locators that can be used to find the elements in the DOM. So right now we have lots of locators available in the predictor, but we will be using mainly by CSS, by ID, by model, by binding, and by repeater. So I will be explaining more of all of them one by one. So let's move on to that one also. So let's move on to the first example of by CSS. So what do you mean by CSS? That uh, by CSS selector, as per the standard of W3 World Wide Web 3 organization, W3C basically, and they have mentioned that you can select a DOM and event using the CSS selector. So so for example, if a particular class is having a for example, particular element is having a class my class, so we can directly get to the this DOM element using dot operator. So dot my class, and by CSS we can exactly, it will return a particular element of it. So similarly, if we have ID, we can get it by hash my ID. And next thing, we will learn more about the model. So what exactly is a model is that if you have a background in Angular, so ng model is basically an attribute that is applied to a particular element, and you can able to bind certain things to it using in Angular. So generally model will have a particular name. For example, if I have bind the particular element using the name, I can access to this element and find this element using Protector by dot model. So we'll be learning more about this in the like in the demo part also. So let's move on to the by binding part. Similarly by binding, we can bind certain elements and by providing a binding attribute, and we'll generally give a binding name to it, and particularly after that we can access this element using Protector in by. So last one is the dollar. Dollar is a basically special kind of a keyword where we directly pass the CSS selector to it, and automatically it will return a element. So let's move on to the next thing. Let's first wrap up the theoretical part, actions. So how actions perform is that generally what we do is that element is basically a type of keyword which Protector already provides us to us, and it takes a locator. So locator can be located by dot something, for example CSS ID binding model, and it will return a variable el, it will equal to, that will be our element. So we can do certain action on this element after finding it. So we can click on that element, we can send the keys if it is an input box, and we can clear this element if it is an input box. We can get the attributes by value also. For example, if you want to get certain attribute value, then we can get el.get attribute. So finding multiple elements is also interesting, and what we'll do is that we'll use the universal element operator, and we'll do all, and we'll pass a locator by css dot selector, means it's a type of class, and after that it will return a promise. And so what we'll do is that we'll apply a dot operator, and then we'll have a function which is basically take an element that already we have found. So it's a kind of all the from the all elements we have found the first one, and we can do certain operation, and after that second elements of 0 will be the first element, elements of 1 will be the second element, and so on. Similarly, if you want to find the sub element of a particular element, so what you can do is that element by CSS of something, and after that you can just apply chaining operator of dot, and you can do element dot by tag name and all. So, and similarly, if you want to find all of them, just use all and similarly. So it's a novel or theoretical aspect of that things that we have done. So what we are going to do in this tutorial is that we'll open a particular browser and we'll type a certain URL and enter, and we will verify certain elements as well as click certain. And we'll be using most of the locators that we already seen in the previous slides, and we're going to learn how we can use them and how we can proceed with them. So let's start the demo and code part. See you guys in the demo. Okay guys, so what we are going to do is that I'll start with again the basics one. So here we have a Protractor project. It's only have a config file right now, and there's one file main test.js where we'll write our test cases in the Protractor. And so if you don't have any clue about how we'll write the config file, you can just follow up my first tutorial, or I'll let me give you what exactly. So config file is basically is a type of file which basically first tell the Protractor that what exactly is the configuration of your project, and how who is your first specification that you have to run. So right now what we are going is that we'll add this as a key value pairs, and what we are going is that we're using a new node type of syntax here, and we are exporting a config type of variable which will have this key value pairs. And what we'll do, the first key is the Selenium address, and we'll passing that our local address with a hub. And second will be the specs. So specs will take an array, and first of all what we are doing is that we only will have a particular one main test, so we'll just use this one also. And third one will have a multi capabilities, means which kind type of browser that we are supporting. And here it's a object, as you can see with it's an array. You can pass another browser is equal to Chrome also, and it will run two of them, run the same test in the parallelly also. So let's move on to the main test. Main test, I have made a simple Jasmine framework type of thing where we have a particular describe block, and I have already written certain its, and nothing is there in them. So what we're going to do is that we'll load a home page URL and click on a customer and select a drop down and click on a click and embellish and verify. And we'll be using a locators. So add locators demo. So I have mentioned also. So let's start with this. So first of all what we have to do is that we have to make this as a uh, node project. So what we have to do is that this is in the P2 right now, as you can see. I'll just copy this path, and what I'll do is that I'll seed it to this one, and I'll ls and I'll move to pt, and I will see this thing. Okay, so what we are going to is that I'll say npm init. It will create a project in this directory where we already have two files. So it is asking us what is the name of the project that you want, and we'll just say demo locators, and make sure you type lowercase. What's the version? It will be 1.1.0.0. Description, this is demo. Entry point config.js is already mentioned. Test command we don't want. Git repository right now we don't have. We just click enter. Keywords we don't enter. Author we just type promo. License empty. It says okay. It looks good. And you'll have to know if you ls this, you'll see that there is a package rotation. So what we have to do is that we have to install Protractor to a project. Okay, so please cancel it because we have to save this in our package.json also. So we just write npm install protractor hash dash dash save. So it will automatically save to package.json. So it will take it little time. It's very less time actually. And it's taking time. So let's see how much time it will take. So next thing that we have to install is that Jasmine framework. Okay, so it's already done, and we have to install Jasmine also. And same thing we are doing going that is that we'll saving it to package.json. So it's done. So let me clear this out and let's see what we have in our project. As you can see here, it's not refreshed actually. Okay, it's refreshed now, and Jasmine and Protector also already there. Cool. So what we are going to, the first thing we have to do is that we have to open the, and here you can see node modules already there and they have already installed. So what we have to do is that we have to open a particular URL. So we'll write browser.get, and which URL we have to do go is that this one. This is a demo application of ours, and where we have XYZ bank and we'll be doing certain things. And let's see if it runs. So what you have to do is that you are in that directory. So what you have to do is that you have to type Protractor config.json, and we have error. So this kind of things that you have to hit and try. It's saying that running the instant error connection failed because we haven't started the Selenium server. Sorry for that. So if we have to if you have this kind of error, what you have to do is that you have to do WebDriver manage and start. So if you have not installed the WebDriver manager, you can just follow up my first tutorial where I have installed the WebDriver manager also. So you have to install this web manager. You have to run right now, and it will run in a minute. Okay, so whenever this you call this get this message, it's up and running. Okay, we'll clear this out and we'll start again. So it's going to launch and it's going. So as you can see here in the left side, we are getting certain logs that it's creating a new capability, and it's open up the Firefox also. And let's see if it's going to run our first browser.get or not. So we'll get browser focus right now, and I have not maximized it actually. So it's what is going to is that it's going to the URL. Okay, and that's all. This is our test right now. So cool. So means things are working fine. So what we'll do is that you already you can just call a browser. We want to maximize that window, right? So write browser dot manage dot maxi. Okay, let me see what exactly is the function. Sometimes it's okay to ask from Google actually. In Protector, suddenly Stack Overflow, it's a god community, definitely going to help you. So it's saying that you can just use this function, so we will use this one. And so let's start with the locators. So first we have to do is that we'll go to a application and we have to find the locator. So this is a button, as you can see that here, And if you have not able to see this window, I'll close it. This is, so you can right click and inspect. Okay, and it will come to the side, and I'll click this one, dock to right. So I want this one. So what you can do is that just go to just click this one, select an element from the page, and click on this one button. So it will give you a particular selection of this button, and you can just copy the selector path, and you can go to console to verify that it's working. Most of the websites will have a dollar, so if you run it, it means the dollar is available to you. And what you can do is that just write the full thing and don't get 0 after that, and it automatically select this button as you can see here. Okay, so if you want it from the class, what you can do is that copy the selection we have already copied, right? So what you can do is that this is the class name, as you can see. If I am able to say it, so we will do is that dot for class button dot btn slash primary dot btn slash lg, and the same thing we have already got. Okay, so if it's giving us there's a Chrome problem, we have to do get 0. So we are able to find it using this class variable. Okay, and it is the CSS selector, so it will be using this one. If you guys are working wondering what is this btn dot btn, so I have already got it from this class. As you can see that btn and space is dot here, and whenever you find a space you can use dot, so we'll be using that one. Okay, so as I already told you, element is your universal universally available in Protractor, and you can just click on by CSS, and we can mention the element ID of this one, and we're going to assign to this element 1. Okay, and after that we are going to perform something. So I'll write e1 dot click. We have to click, right? So this is our first one, and where we have click the customer and select from the drop down. So we have not selected the drop down one. So let me see, after this one we have a drop down. What we can do is that, and if I you can click on it, and there's a particular situation. Right now I'm not able to click the drop down because whenever I do, it's open up in the our console window. So what you can do is that we'll just click on active. Okay, and right now that will open up the state for us, and we can just directly use it. So we have clicked the visited also, and right, we will click this one. So the class is not very much of available. As you can see, the ID is user select, so it's a very unique one. We can use this one also, and we have a ng model also. So it's an ng model, as you can see. Let's go to upward also, and we are able to see that it's a ng repeat where cust in customers. Okay, so it's a basically a loop type in Angular where cust is the object and in the customers object. So these are the list of customers available. Okay, so what we are going is that we'll be using the ng repeat here, and we'll be using the element dot all, and we'll be selecting for any of this customer, and we'll be clicking the login button. So let's see what the ID for the login. As you can see, it's already a we can use anything, but it's btn.btn default. Oh, so we already got both of them. So let's move to them also. So what? Let me write this one. So what we are going is that I will be using certain code from my previously I have already written this code, so I'll be using it here. And so what we are doing in that says it's element dot all by repeater and it's customer from customer, and it will return a particular item in the list here, this one list, and we'll be clicking the second item, and we'll just sleep for certain second, and we'll be click the button using button task. So this is another type of another type of locator. So two locators are new, repeater and button task. Okay, so this is the overall code for this. So let's run it and see how it's work. And as you can see that Firefox is already open up, and we will able to see that in a moment. It's okay, it's already opened that one, and it's click the it select the Ron Weasley, and it's going to click on button. So that's all. We have a zero failure, means we have already done with it. So what we are going is that I'll click on this one, and we can see that balance is 0. So I'll click the, and that's all. Actually, I have already covered most of the things from us, and it's video is getting to it. So you can just write your own things and let me know in the comments if you are able to. Let me move that click part here. This is the assignment for you guys to write a add balance as well as verify it to using the locators also. So I will be sharing this source code using the GitHub arrow. So thank you guys for watching, and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, please thumbs up, share with your friends, and let me know your thoughts in the comment below what exactly you wanted to see in the Protractor, because right now we have worked on Protractor with like lots of additional code and all. So thanks guys.